Overgrown. All right, so you got the B bomb site, which is right in between. It's closer to both of the spawns, so it makes it equally as dangerous for each side. Then you got A, which is off to the side of the map, but again, equal pretty much for both sides, defense having the slight advantage as always.
Now, since this map is so big, that does give it a lot of options in terms of choosing a route. Both sides can either rush to the middle library building right by B, and they'll get there pretty much about the same time. And either team could cross along the bridges towards A, and once again, they will get to the bomb at the same time. So pretty varied routes you could pick. There are also a lot of flank routes and a lot of ways to maneuver the map.
This will probably be obvious to most of you, but we gave this map a 4 out of 4 for sniping, whether it be sniping along the sight line of B, or sniping way out in the field at A, spawn sniping down the middle. Wherever you go on this map, a sniper is a valid option, and pretty much it's one of those maps where if you don't have at least 1 or 2 snipers on your team, you're at a disadvantage. With Pipeline, you got 2 bomb sites that are pretty much that are closer to the defense, but that doesn't necessarily leave offense at that much of a disadvantage. B's a little bit farther away for offense, making A the more likely target, but they're both pretty balanced on this map.
Now, like DG said, just because offense is further away from the bombs doesn't necessarily mean they are at a disadvantage, because getting to the bombs for offense is pretty straightforward. They don't have that many routes they could take, but once they get to the bombs, there are a lot of different options and routes they can take from there.
As far as sniping goes, gave it a 3 out of 4 because off the spawn, I'm sure at the bottom of the map there can be a lot of sniper fights going on, and then even through the middle, picking people off is very common. You can get on the roofs and stuff. There's a lot of vantage points. The only thing is, once the bomb gets planted, is not as useful. So it's a 3 out of 4. Now Showdown. So the bomb sites, they're equal to both sides, right? They're in the middle-ish, but the thing is that this map is so small, they couldn't really be in better spots. There's just a lot of hectic combat going on in this map. It's a little bit too small for search.
This map is pretty symmetrical, so neither side really has an advantage. Either side can either go on the left, right, or right through the middle.
As far as sniping goes on this map, give it a 1 out of 4. I mean, if you really are stubborn, you can run through the middle and try to spawn snipe people, but obviously that's not actually a good decision, and you're really not going to help the team with a sniper on this map.
Now for strike. The defense does spawn really close to B, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have an easier time to defend it, and they also spawn a little bit closer to A than the offense does, but that also means that the defense will be spread out a little bit more, making it just a tad bit easier for the offense to get there.
As far as routes go, you got offense either rushing over to B, rushing to A. You can go through the middle. I mean, they have multiple routes they can take and switch it up just a little bit each time. There's little differences in the routes that can confuse the defense. And defense also, they have to watch multiple entrances for each bomb site, which it balances the map pretty well.
Now for the sniping, we gave this a 2 out of 4, mainly because there aren't a lot of long lines of sights that are very effective sniping here, but the lines of sights that there are do cover a good portion of the map and main routes going to the bomb sites.
Vacant. So, the bomb sites. A is in a very awkward position, and either defending or attacking that bomb site, you can kind of see it from like 3 different angles. It's kind of out of place. B is very balanced bomb site, D having the slight advantage, and offense only really having 1 entrance to it. It's pretty good.
Now, as for the routes, offense doesn't really have too many choices here because by the time defense gets to the bombs, it'll be so heavily guarded. So mainly what they have to do is wait for the defense to come to them and make a mistake. Otherwise, they don't really have too much diversity.
Sniping on this map, we gave it a 2 out of 4. I almost gave it a 1 out of 4, but there are very long lines of sight. It's just that after the initial rush and everything happens, if you're forced to go into the building on offense, which you are, because to play the objective, snipers become very useless.
So the last map in the game is Wet Work, and defense spawns really close to both of the bomb sites, making it really easy to defend on. And on top of that, this map is very bottleneck. Offense doesn't really have that many options.
Yeah, when the offense is rushing, they're either going through the middle, left or right, but there isn't very much room. Like, there isn't much of a difference from the left and the right. So there's like 2 ways they can go, and defense, if defending properly, can stop them anywhere they want to.
As for the sniper rating, We gave this a 2 out of 4. DG almost gave it a 1 until I slapped him in the face and convinced him that sniping isn't that terrible on this map. But this map does have a few lines of sight, but the problem is after the initial rush, the snipers become pretty much useless.
Alright, well that's all of the maps for CoD4. Again, we're going to go over all of the other games' maps in search, like World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3. Probably with a different guest commentator though. Somebody that has knowledge on the other games better for search. He was really only played the first 3. He might be back for World at War. You never know. But stay tuned for those. Call of Duty 4 tends to be one of the highest quality for as far as maps go. So you might see a decline in how much we praise the maps as we go on in the series. You got anything else to add? Sarcasm.
Just thanks for letting me on your channel. Feel free to check out my channel. I don't do much search and destroy, but I definitely love the respawn game types and I have a lot of tips on that. But yeah, other than that, that's it. Thanks.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.